I can't. I can't get into the vein. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to begin. I wish to goodness I'd spoken to her at the dance the other evening when she told me they were all going away for the summer. But instead, I've gone and left everything to the last minute, and now I'm nonplussed. By George, I know what I'll do. I'll make an exercise of it. I'll write it out a dozen different ways and send the one I think looks the best. So come on, Jack. Here we are, in love with the dearest girl on earth. Tackle her like a man. And tell her so, or they'll be gone off north, you'll be gone down, and have lost your chance forever. She's my fate. And I'm hanged if I shan't be hers. So here goes. My darling. Too strong, perhaps, to start out with. My dear Miss Verdon. Too formal, and not showing a bit of how I really feel. My dear. Hang it, why not? My dear Kitty.
I beg
That's
pardon,
correct.
sir.
Now I can go ahead like a house on fire. My dear Kitty,
I beg pardon, sir, but do you mind?
Yes, very much. I'm busy. Go away.
Yes, sir. But, sir...
I am dealing with the most important affair. Go away.
Yes, sir.
And just as I've made such a good start, too. My dear Kitty. What are you doing, Brass? It's confounded all. What do you want?
Sir, I merely wish to say that I've
All right.
laid out a few
Thank
things.
you. Go away and leave me alone.
Of which I thought you would like to...
All right, take it! Keep it! Take every blessed rag I got. Only go away.
Yes, sir.
My dear Kitty.
Beg pardon, sir.
Confound it, I wasn't addressing you. Go away. My dear Kitty. My dearest Kitty.
I say.
You don't clear out, Brassita! Oh, it's you, Charlie. Oh, what is it, old chap?
Oh, nothing, Jack. I don't want to bother you if you're busy.
Oh, no, don't go. I'm all right. It's only that fool Brassett.
What's he doing?
Only bagging all my clothes because I'm going down and worrying me like old Harry while I'm trying to write a most important letter today. Don't mind me today. I'm nervous and naggy and nonplussed.
And so am I, Jack.
Why?
I'm trying to write a letter too.
Oh, a letter. To whom?
To Miss Pettigrew.
Oh, well, how far have you got?
Oh, I began awfully well, but I didn't want to be too distant. I didn't want to be too...
Well, familiar.
So then I just said, my dear Amy. And then words failed me and I came to you for advice. You always know what to say and do.
Oh, do I?
You know my idiotic complaint. I'm shy, you're not.
Aren't I?
So prescribe for me, old chap. What am I to say?
A good idea. I'll prescribe for him and take the medicine myself. So let's see, you are in love with Amy Pettigrew and want to know if there's any hope for you, and if so...
You see, they're all off to Scotland.
Yes,
tomorrow.
I know. You want to see her at once. When and where bearer awaits. Do I diagnose the case accurately?
To a T, old chap.
Oh, well, then you want to say something to this effect. My dear Kitty.
No, not Kitty, Amy.
No, of course. What was I thinking of? My dearest Amy. Forgive me thus for addressing you so, but I love you so dearly. Underline.
Rather strong.
Shut up. So earnestly, also underline.
Oh, I say.
That I must write and tell you so. All I ask is...
Well, there is one small obstacle to my putting it quite as straight as that.
What is it?
Well, I've an aunt.
Well, Charlie, most of us have. What about her?
Well, I feel I ought to tell her first.
Oh, well, if you're going to drag an aunt into the business, we may as well wait till we get back from Scotland.
Why?
Oh, you know how auntie is when she steps in.
No, I don't. That's just it. I don't know her. I've never even seen her.
Oh, well, we won't be too hard on that aunt. She hasn't interfered much in your affairs up to now.
Except to find out that I'm an orphan and have me sent to Eton and to Oxford. And now my guardian writes to me that she will have an early lunch with me at 1 o'clock.
Never seen her.
No, she went out to Brazil before I was born. and became a sort of secretary to a very rich, old Brazilian chap out there called Dom Pedro de Alvadores. And now, by the merest accident of the world, well, I've seen this.
Let us see, Madam, or rather, Donna Lucia de Alvadores, is a Brazilian millionaire who has taken Lord Toppleby's magnificent mansion in Belgravia, is an English woman of genial disposition and a financial genius. It was her capacity in this direction that earned her the gratitude of a late husband, which resulted in a deathbed marriage. Well, I don't see much in that.
Go on, Jack, read the next.
Her only relation is a nephew at Oxford. Lucky nephew.
That's me.
Oh, by George, Charley, this is a startler. Oh, and she'll be here any minute.
I've seen every train up till now. I just wish he'd come at some other day.
She'll arrive by the next, just in time for lunch.
Yes, it'll be an awful haul. No, I want to write that letter to Amy.
Well, I don't know much about that.
But it's an awfully difficult letter to write. Fearfully complicated.
Why?
Well, I've no people or anything.
People with an aunt like that.
But I've no reason to expect anything of her. More of which she's already done for me.
Well, we'll write a note at once. You write it, go ahead. Let us see now. My dear Miss Pettigrew. Brassett, where are you? Where are you, Brassett? Brassett? Where is this Brassett?
Yes, sir.
Oh. We'll get someone to send a note at once, to Mr. Spettigrews.
Yes, sir.
Go on, Jack, I've got that.
Yes, so we'll see now. You and Miss Verdon do me the honor
The honor,
to lunch with me and Mr. Chesney.
me and Mr. Chesney.
All right, then, I'll address the envelope.
I'll
No,
address
not that, you muff! At his room in St. Old's College. Let's see now, Miss Spettigrew.
Miss...
No, not that. Look out. Let us see now, to meet my dearest aunt. What did you say her name was?
Donna Lucia de Alvadores.
Donna. All right, stick it down. An answer by bearer will greatly oblige.
Yours sincerely, Charles Wyker. Jack, you're a genius.
Oh, it's a glorious opportunity. They're off to Scotland.
And we're off down.
Yes. Brassett?
The messenger, sir.
Oh, yes, then, here. Give him this, and tell him to look sharp.
Yes, sir.
This sort of thing is not to be settled by correspondence.
No, and we shall have them all to
Oh,
ourselves.
and we couldn't have done it if it hadn't been for your aunt. I'm starting to love that dear old lady already. Brassett!
Yes, sir.
Lunch for 5.
For how many,
For
sir?
5.
For 5, sir.
What are you laughing at?
Well, sir, I'm afraid our credit in the kitchen is rather exhausted.
Oh, is it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well then, Charlie, how are you off with your money?
Well, Jack, my guardian's rather...
Oh, is he? Never mind then. Take it outside, go to Bunton's.
I'm afraid we owe
Oh,
Bunters.
do we?
Yes, sir.
All right then, you don't mind, Charlie. It won't matter once my check comes. All right then, do the best you can with this.
Sir, this is no good, sir. I couldn't get anything with this, sir. However, everything will be all right at Bunter's if I tell them it's for me.
All right then, do the best you can with it, and just remember lunch for 5 at 1.
Rather short notice, sir.
All right, go where you like, do what you like. Only lunch for 5 at 1. That's all right, isn't it, Charlie?
I say, Jack, that's my watch.
Oh, I beg pardon, old chap, my mistake.
What champagne, sir?
Why, champagne, of course.
I'm only 4 left, sir.
Half a dozen bottles.
No, sir, only 4.
Quite enough.
6, I'll swear.
No, only 4, and a little claret.
Oh, hang that claret. It's been open a month, all right. He's been sneaking those other 2 bottles. He's a corker.
My fellow's just the same.
Oh, they all are. While you are off at the chapel and cloisters with your aunts, we shall have a chat with the girls.
Yes, Jack, that's all very fine and well, but what about me and Amy and our little chat? She'll be in our way horribly.
Oh, well, I never thought of that.
She's all right as an excuse to get the girls to come here, but by herself, well, Jack, she'll be an awful bore.
She'll be worse than that. She'll be a brute of a nuisance.
So what shall we do?
Well, let's see. Napoleon's been over the Alps on horseback, and I've been under them by train, so there must be a way out of this.
But how? Couldn't we ask someone to meet her?
Yes, someone we can trust.
But whom?
Well, what about Racet? He's a pompous sort of chap, as artful as a corkscrew. Can't we turn him into a Don or something for the day?
Good idea, Jack, but...
No, won't do. We shall want him to wait at table.
Ah, yes, so we shall.
Yes, there is Freddie Peel.
Oh, he's such a cynical chap.
Oh, yes, besides you neglect your aunt.
Yes, and he'd want to make love to our girls.
George, I've got it. Babs. Fanny Babs. We'll ask him.
Of course. Why didn't we think of him before?
He's a jolly, cheerful little chap. Will you amuse your aunt like the deuce and keep her in a rattling good humor?
Splendid.
Racet.
Yes, sir.
Go to Lord Fancourt Beverley's rooms, give him my compliments, and tell him to come at once.
Yes, sir.
Say it's very important.
Yes, sir.
And very immediate.
Yes, sir.
All right, then. While Babs is doing gooseberry with your aunt, we shall have a chat with the girls.
By the by, Jack, haven't you noticed anything about Babs' cheerfulness? Ever since he got sick and went off to the Mediterranean.
Oh, yes, I've noticed he's been jolly hard up.
And I fancy, from a few hints he's dropped to me, that, why, he's a bit hard hit himself.
What? Babs in love.
Yes, and I'm afraid he's as soft-hearted over a girl
As we are. All the better. He'll feel for us. He'll see the necessity of keeping the old lady away.
By George, Jack, he'll be Prime Minister one of these days.
His lordship's compliments, sir. He says he can't come. He has a luncheon to go to, and by the way, can you lend him a few bottles of champagne?
Lend him a few bottles of champagne, well, of all the cheek.
Who's he got coming?
Oh, probably Freddie Peel and a lot of idiots like himself, and they'll be singing comic songs all afternoon.
It'll sound awfully bad, won't it?
Oh, he mustn't. Here, Racet late for 6.
Yes, sir.
Then, we must go to him now. We must make him come. He cannot spoil our plans in this selfish manner. Here, Racet, lay the champagne nice and go tidy up my rooms. Now,
Yes, sir.
come on, Charley, come on. Charley, hurry and hurry.
1 o'clock. Tidy up the rooms. That's always the way. Hurry, scurry. They come with a bang. They go with a bang. They do everything with a bang except for pay their bills with a bang.
Jack! Shed jacket, man! Where the dickens are you? Well, I've come to borrow some fish. I wonder where they keep it. Oh, by George, the very thing. Serves him right for leaving it out in this most ostentatious way when I'm so jolly hard up. Won't they be jolly waxing? And they must make out with whiskey and soda.
Hello, Babs. We've just been over to your rooms to find you. We've been talking about you.
No, really. I say, chaps, how do you think I'm looking?
Splendid, old chap.
Yes, I thought you'd be pleased with me. Well, ta-ta.
Now, Babs, don't you go. You see, you wanted to see us, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I wanted to borrow some fizz, but...
Oh, sorry, I can't. I could have spared you a few bottles, but that fool Brassy...
Oh, I know, my fellow's just the same. There's no reasoning with them, is there? Well, ta-ta.
Babs, you wanted to see us last night, didn't you?
Oh, yes, you know Freddie Peel, don't you? Oh, well, he's an awful idiot. Hasn't a particle of brains. But I'm all right. He threw a card game last night and I won £100 off of him. Jack, you should have seen his face. It makes me laugh now.
Why, Freddie Beale, he hasn't 6 pence.
Did he pay you?
No, but he's going to. When his grandma dies.
Oh, well, the old lady's been dead for years.
No, really? Well, that's beastly. And you know, I'm stumped. He's won an awful lot out of me, but he's an idiot, hasn't a particle of brains. Oh, well, ta-ta, I'm off.
No, Babs, we want you to stay and lunch with us today.
Oh, I say, chaps, don't play the giddy goat. I've got to see my, tutor.
Babs, you mustn't work like this. You're looking quite pulled down.
Am I really?
I was only telling Jack so just now.
But do you think I shall die?
Oh, not you. You shall be a great man of one sort.
Oh,
One
yes.
of these days.
Well, that's what I think, but... You know, there are a lot of great Johnnies in my family. Great Johnnies in the Army and Navy and things.
Oh, yes, I bet they never killed themselves with study.
No, but I must do something.
Oh, yes, you must lunch with me and Charley. See, his aunt is coming to pay him a visit.
Really? What fun. I know Charley visits his uncle when he's jolly hard up. It's only right his aunt should return the favor.
See, that is exactly what we want. A jolly, cheerful chap like you, with a fund of humor and a lot of brilliant conversation.
Yes, Babs, that's it?
To amuse a charming lady.
Well, I say, who is she?
Why, Charley's aunt.
And what's she like?
Well, you see, Babs, we don't quite know. I'm to see her for the first time today.
I say, she may end up being an awful old crock.
Why, you see, she is a widow and a millionaire. That's enough, isn't it?
Rather. Put me down for a chance, I'll take a chance.
Why, you see, we never asked Freddie Beale, did we?
No.
No.
No, he's an awful idiot. I say, what did you say her name was?
Donna Lucia de Alvadores.
Oh, damn it. What a name.
Babs, well, put down the bag.
I need to go.
Babs, come on, Babs, do not play this fool of a game. Come here, Babs. Babs, come here. Get him. Oh, Babs. You see, oh, come here. Get in the chair. See, you must not go. We shall want you to lunch with us today. You'll find Charley's aunt, a charming old lady.
A charming old lady. No, I say, haven't you anything younger coming?
Yes, 2 other ladies.
Oh, nice. Young.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's more in my line. I say, how many did you say there were?
2.
Oh, I see. 1 for each of you and the old crock for me. No thanks, I'm off.
Babs, this is an awfully serious affair.
I should think so with an awful old crock like that.
And we want your help as a friend.
Yes, a friend we can trust.
Rather.
We'll take you into a confidence, straight as a die. We are in love.
What, Charley too? Oh, you silly fool.
Oh, no fool of flirtation, but the downright serious thing.
And if Babs, if you knew the girls as well as we did, well, you wouldn't wonder at it.
Exactly, and they're coming here to lunch today.
Oh. Well, I say, have you proposed yet?
No, that's just
Oh,
it.
and you want me to do it for
No. We shall do that ourselves. That's why we've asked them to come.
No, Babs, you don't understand our feelings a bit.
Oh, don't I, though? Haven't you noticed how sad I've been lately?
Yes?
What is it?
Well, I think I'm in love, too.
What makes you think that?
Well, I'm always wanting to be alone and hear the birds sing.
Oh.
I've grown so fond of poetry, and I can't sleep at night. I took to drink for a couple of days and then fell ill for a week and laid it off.
Oh, well, you've got all the symptoms. Tell us all about it.
Well, do you remember when I was plowed?
Oh, beastly shame.
Oh, no, not that term, the term before. Well, I took the yacht around the Mediterranean, and at the Monte Carlo I came across an English officer, a quite penniless chap, and died. You know, Jack, he tried to commit suicide.
Oh, bad luck at the tables.
Oh, yes. Well, Mr. Delahaye beggared himself and the only child he ever had. Oh, the sweetest little girl you ever saw.
And what became of him?
Well, he died.
Well, what became of her, the sweetest little girl you ever saw?
Well, I lost sight of her. A woman traveling home from South America, I believe. Took her under her wing and took her to England. You know, Jack, I tried to tell her that.
You loved her.
I would have been rejected and I would have looked a silly fool.
But it all oozed out of your fingertips and the points of your hair. Well, at any rate, you can sympathize with us. Well then, let us see now. Oh, here's the messenger back! Oh, give it here, give it here, give it here! Let us see. Oh, they're coming!
By Jove!
So you'll stop back?
Oh, listen here, look here.
No, you'll do as you are. We've got you now.
I say, chaps, don't play the giddy goat. I've something very important to do.
Oh, well, what is it?
I'm playing in some amateur theatricals.
Oh, rot. He'll be ploughed again, won't he, Charley?
But I've given my word.
Oh, well, what are you playing?
A lady. An old lady. And I've never acted before in my life.
That's why he needs a tutor, huh, Charley?
Oh, and I want to try on those things before those fellows come.
Oh. Well, you can try them on here. Where are they?
Oh, in my room on a box on the bed.
Oh, fetch them brass it, quick.
Oh no, I shall grab them with my little bag.
Give it here.
Babs, you don't sympathize with us a bit.
Oh, don't I, though? I only wish I could see my own little girl.
Well, she'll turn up one of these days. Have a drink.
Oh no, I've laid it off.
Oh, just a small one.
I'm teetotal.
Oh, well then, here, Charley, I'll have one then. Here we are.
All right, I'll have it.
Well, anyways, we'll drink her health, wherever she may be. To the new Miss Fancourt Babberley. What did you say her name was?
I've no idea.
Go on with you, Miss Delahaye.
Your things, my lord.
Oh, thank you, Brass. I say, have you half a crown?
Charley, have you had the crown?
No, Jack, I haven't.
Brassett, give me half a crown. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Here you are, Brass. And keep the change.
Right, let us see. What is it?
Oh, chocolates.
Chocolates?
Let us have a look.
Oh no, I'll try them on when you are all in the garden after lunch.
Oh, we shall want you to stay here at lunch with us. So try them on now. Won't take long, will it?
Well, only a minute or two. You know, I've lost a lot of time over these theatricals. But next term I mean to work.
Oh, yes, here it is. Here's the name. Oh, so it is. Mr. Chester. I wonder if they're in.
Oh, here they are, and your aunt's still not come.
Good gracious. What shall we do?
We can explain. Show them in, Brassett. Oh, so glad of you to come.
We were very pleased to be able to come. Weren't we, Amy? Oh, yes. Mr. Wytham, are we too early?
Oh, no, not at all.
Yes, Mr. Chester, you didn't mention any time.
Oh, not at all, not at all. She'll be here any minute.
So, this is where you think and study and do all of your work and everything.
Oh, yes, I do a lot of that thing here.
You've got jolly quarters here.
You know, Amy, you're going off to Scotland tomorrow, and we shall miss you oh so much.
Yes, Uncle always takes us to some dreadfully remote place this time of year where we never see a soul, and it's so dreary.
Why is he?
I don't know.
It's a shame.
Why? Are you sorry we're going?
Sorry. Why, it's put me and Jack into a perfect fever. That's why we were so anxious for you to come today.
It's lucky Uncle wasn't away in town today, or else I don't think we could have come.
Why?
Well, you know, he raises such odd objections, and then he's so peculiar about Kitty.
Well, why?
She's an heiress, you know, and he's her guardian.
Now, Kitty, have you forgotten the dance the other evening? For I never shall.
No.
No. And those moments out there in the garden were the happiest of all my life. Why, with the moonlight, oh, the moonlight! It was the perfect atmosphere for sentiment.
I wonder how many people have said that.
Kitty, I know when you like, you can be an awful plague. But today you are quite cynical.
I know I am. I'm thinking of that man.
What man?
Of my guardian, Mr. Spedigue, who hurries us away from all our best friends. Directly do we get to know them really well, for fear
For
of...
fear of what?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, why does he?
Because he's a selfish, wicked old man.
Oh, are you really so sorry to go away?
No, I'm angry, but don't speak about it any longer, as Amy says. I shall cry.
What a dear, sweet old lady your aunt must be, Mr. Wyvern. I am so longing to know her. Where is she?
Jack! Where's my aunt? Oh. What? Oh, she's hardly arrived yet.
Oh, Kitty, Mr. Wyvern's aunt hasn't come yet.
Oh, hasn't come? Then we must, we'll do some shopping, then be back. Shan't be long. Goodbye.
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 Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
So they were off like a shot when they realized your aunt hasn't come yet.
Yes, it makes an awful difference, doesn't it?
Here, go off to the train station and bundle the old lady here in a fly.
Old lady, what do you mean?
Why, your aunt, and I'll see after the lunch and babs.
All right. I say, Jack, I feel better now that I've seen them, don't you?
Yes, now be off. Go.
I say, have you any hair?
Great Scott, no.
Well, may I send your man for some?
Yes, certainly.
Russell! Have you 6 pence?
No, I do not.
Well, you haven't got anything, have you? Oh, Brasset, remember I gave you £0.5 earlier?
Yes, sir.
Do you mind making it 2 shillings and getting me 6 pence worth of hairpins?
Yes, sir.
And remember, keep the change. Well, I say, Jack, were those the girls?
Yes, but what the deuce made you bolt off like that? They could have seen you.
Well, I didn't know they were here.
But then let her see now. I must put away the bag. Someone else is here. Be off. There was a lot of hope in what Kitty said in one moment. I might have told her that Never mind then. Everything is going on splendidly. Come in.
Jack!
Dad!
My dear boy.
Well, wherever have you come from?
From town to have a chat with you and to bring you your check.
Oh, thanks, Dad. You are a brick.
Yes, a bit overbaked after all my years in India.
Yes, a bit crisp, Dad, but a humbug pictorially.
Am I?
Yes, well, how old are you?
What would you say to 50?
51? Oh, who'd believe it?
And you, Jack, seem older than I was when I was your age. Perhaps it's the times. Even the old college shows it. New ivy, new paint on the wall.
Why, yes, alma mater, still an old beauty.
Yes, I suppose. Aided by the gentle artifices of the toilet. We all grow old.
Yes, and as presentably as possible. Why, Dad, even you at 50. Oh, 50 years ago, you could have been a stout, white-haired, or balding, top-booting, domineering boy. But instead, here you are. However, have you done it?
I've no idea.
Well, do you drink?
All I want.
Eat well?
I never noticed.
Well, consequently, good health, temper perfect. We are going to be great chums, Dad.
Very well. And, Jack, here is your check to go on
Oh,
with.
thanks, Dad. I haven't half seen enough of you.
Yes, I've seen your hospitality.
Oh, I hope so, Dad.
No matter. Same as when I was a lad. I'm quite satisfied with you. Say, where deuce did you get those cigars?
What are those, Dad?
That explains the bills. And now, my dear boy, we must begin to think.
Think.
Yes, as I have taken on the family title, as you know, I have also, which you don't know, taken on the family debts and difficulties.
debts.
Yes, which were far more than I realized, with the result that all of the money I've saved for you in India must go to pay for them. And so, in short, Jack, for the next few years, you and I shall be, comparatively speaking, poor men.
Poor man, this settles me with old Spettigue now.
However, I am in hopes of a small position for you in Bengal.
In Bengal, what a horrible place.
His lordship's hairpin.
Now, confound his hairpins. Of course, the dad will be an odd one if he stays. I must get rid of Babs if he stays. Stays? My good heavens, why not? Why, Dad? Couldn't this matter be settled by, I don't know, wealthy marriage?
No, that's the sort of thing I'd rather deprecate. I
And
don't
now
think
do
you
listen, Dad. My chum, that is Charley Whiting's aunt, Donna Lucia de Albadores, is coming here to lunch today. She is a widow.
Widow.
And a millionaire.
A millionaire?
Yes. And a charming lady.
No, it's not the sort of thing I would advise you to do merely for the sake of money.
Oh, Dad, not me. You.
Me? You young rascal. No, Jack, I shall never marry again.
Don't be rash, Dad. Think it over. Where are your things?
Back at the hotel.
Oh, well, go get changed and look nice. Put a flower in your buttonhole.
I see, Jack!
Why, Charley Wycombe? My father, Dad, Charley Wycombe.
Glad to know you, my dear boy. Glad to know you.
Why, the nephew. Nice boy. You'll like him.
Rather thought he was the fire brigade.
Now, Dad, go put a flower in your buttonhole. Takes years off a man, a flower in his buttonhole.
No, Jack, come and lunch with me at the Mitre.
Yes, some do think it over, Dad, and see her first. See her first.
I'll have a look at it. I'll have a look at it.
What is it?
Read that.
Important business. Don't expect me for a few days. Donna Lucia de Albadores, no!
She's not coming.
Oh, but she must go wire, telegraph.
No use, there's no time.
Oh, good heavens. What are we to do? The girls won't remain if there's no chaperone.
Couldn't we ask the proctor's wife? Old Miss,
Who'll sit and stare like an owl.
Oh, no. They're coming.
Oh, what on earth are we to do?
I say, Jack, come and look at me.
Oh, by George, what is it now? What the deuce is this mess? Why, Charley, do come here. Do you know what a pious fraud is?
Pious fraud?
A first cousin to a miracle. Look.
Well, what is it?
Why, Babs, your aunt.
Babs? My aunt?
Why, it's the only one you've got, so you'll have to make the best of her.
I say, look here.
How's this?
Splendid, old chap.
I say, who's that?
The girls.
The girls!
Oh, Babs, Charlie's aunt can't come.
Well, why can't she? Here, I'll go take these things off.
No, they won't stop if you do.
Won't stop.
You must be Charlie's aunt.
Me? No!
Brass, shove them in. That's so kind of you to come back.
Yes, we've been long in the wind. Amy wanted to get some flowers for Charlie's aunt. Has she come?
Oh, yes, she has come. Donna Lucia, Miss Verdon, Miss Pettigrew. Why don't you say something?
How do you do?
Donna Lucia, we've called upon you before, but you hadn't arrived.
And we've brought you these.
Thank you. I hope your journey from town hasn't tired you.
Well, it was rather jolly. Pleasant, I mean. What the dickens am I supposed to do with these?
Stick them in your dress.
You're not worried, Mr. Wyvern, are you ill?
No, I'm anxious.
He's nervous about meeting his aunt for the first time today. Give me one moment. Why the dickens don't you say something?
What the dickens am I supposed to say?
Talk about the weather.
Charming weather!
Oh, yes, it's delightful.
Yes, charming.
College gents will do anything.
Stop.
Will you arrange these for me?
Yes. After all, we have some nice weather sometimes. Poor old England.
What the dickens does she mean by that?
Why, you're a foreigner.
A foreigner? What did you say my name was again?
Donna Lucia de Alvadores.
What am I, Irish?
No, married a Portuguese abroad
And a widow.
from Brazil.
And a millionaire.
Okay, I say, do I have any children?
No, you fool.
Well, now I know, so now I can go on. Yes, charming weather for England.
Oh, yes, it is. Of course, Oxford is all very new to you, but it's a dear old place in any weather. Oh, Amy, now I can show you about.
Should I take them to see the chapel and the cloister?
Well, we shall do that ourselves.
Oh, you're staying till tomorrow, are you not?
Am I staying till tomorrow?
No.
No.
Oh, but you will, you mustn't you, Kitty?
I'm afraid Auntie can't stay after today.
Yes, it's my washing day.
Oh, she has so much business to attend to, in town.
Some lawyers and stocks.
Oh, yes, stocks and socks. All very important, you know.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We have so long to know you.
Oh, have you, my dear?
Mr. Wycombe has told us so much about you that he has made us quite love you.
Oh, has he, my dear?
And he says he owes everything to you and he never could repay you. And oh, he is such a good, frank, upright man. It was noble of you.
Oh, yes. Well, it was only my duty to see after my brothers.
Sisters, you fool.
Sisters, you fool. Sisters, orphan girl.
Boy.
Boy. I'll say twins in a minute.
But it was so good of you to find out. You were so far away in a foreign land and you might have been left to starve or to fall into cruel hands, but you have a good, kind, affectionate nature.
Oh, have I, my dear?
Anyone can see it in your face.
No.
I feel I could tell my whole heart to you.
Don't let her.
I won't, the poor thing.
You don't mind my talking to you like this, do you?
You're a charming girl of whom I am sure I could grow very fond of one day when I know you better.
I feel like I've known you years and years already.
There, how was that? They're jealous. I'm sorry, but it's quite amusing.
Trust me. I beg pardon, my lord, but I've just got word that Mr. Spedigue is inquiring about your rooms.
Thank you. Oh, why, I thought he was in London.
Oh, Mr. Chesney, I beg of you to send him away.
What am I to say? What am I to do?
Say what you like, only get rid of him.
Why doesn't someone answer this door? Why doesn't someone answer the door?
What do you want?
I wish to see Mr. Chesney.
Where did you get that hat? Take it off, sir. Why are you sitting down? I am not sitting down, and I did not ask you to sit down.
We will waive that at the present, madam. I wish to see Mr. Chesney.
I am afraid I am the only person present.
The porter told me he saw two young ladies, my niece and my ward, come in.
I am the only young lady present.
Well, he said he saw them come in.
Didn't he tell you he saw them go out?
No. They've gone into the garden.
They've done nothing of the
Then
kind.
they've gone into town.
Well, why couldn't you think of that before? Madam, having got all the information you are likely to get in your present condition.
Madam.
Oh, disgraceful. Where have you been?
Madam, I assure you I am annoyed, but perfectly sober.
Well, other people can be annoyed, such as yourself.
Madam, I apologize. Good morning.
Oh, my dears.
Oh, you're sweet of you.
Darling.
Look at him, Jack.
I'll punch his head if he does it again. Oh, my father. Donna Lucia. My father, take care of him.
Look here, have I any relations to him?
No, you are Charley's aunt from Brazil.
Brazil? Where's that?
You know where the nuts come from. Oh, why, Dad, Miss Verdon.
How do you do?
Miss Pettigrew.
Charmed. Now,
Jack, yes, sir.
has she come?
Oh, yes, she has come. Why, Charley, introduce your aunt.
Donna Lucia, Sir Francis Chesney, Jack's father.
How do you do?
How do you do?
I'm Charley's aunt from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
Jack?
Yes.
Is that the lady?
Yes. Yes.
Dear
No,
John.
no, Dad, no. Give me one moment. Why, Charley's been telling you all about him.
Charley's told me all about him.
No. My nephew Charles.
My nephew Charles has told me so much about you.
In his letters.
In his letters. In his letters. How's that?
Not good.
Do it yourself then.
I'm much obliged to Mr. Wycombe. But you see, I've only met him for the first time today.
Why, I've simply been photographing you to Charley for years.
Oh yes, he's a splendid photographer.
Remember, you just came to England today for the very first time.
Why the dickens haven't you said that before?
Jack! Jack! My dear boy, it is impossible.
Why, what is that?
Look at her!
Good gracious, no.
Luncheon is ready.
Dad, do take Donna Lucia. Donna Lucia, take my father.
Donna Lucia, allow me.
And you sit beside me, Sir Francis.
I should be delighted. Traveled a great deal, have you?
Oh yes, I travelled all the way from London only this morning.
Donna Lucia, Aunt. Aunt! Mayonnaise.
Thank you.
Miss Pettigrew,
Yes, please.
Miss Verdon,
Please.
Why, that's a lovely flower you have.
Do you like it? Will you accept it?
Thank you. I'll have it stuck.
oh, Jack! Mayonnaise!
Mr. Chesney, you have very pleasant rooms here.
No, yes.
Yes, very pleasant rooms indeed. Don't you agree, Sir Francis?
Yes, pleasanter today than usual, I fancy. Donna Lucia, might I have the pleasure? Jack! My dear boy, where did you get this stuff?
May I have a little water, please?
Oh, but the champagne bracket.
I can't find it, sir.
Can't find it. Why, Charley, do you know where it is?
No.
What I laid in the ice.
What do you want?
Why, the champagne, Donna Lucia.
Oh yes, I thought you'd forget something, so I brought some in my little bag. In my little bag, Brassett.
I was right after all, and that fool of a woman told me they were not here.
Oh, why, Mr.
Don't
Spinach.
address me, sir.
So this is the way you take advantage of my absence.
Mr. Spetty.
Don't address me, sir. I have no wish to hold any converse with you.
But won't you allow us to
My
explain?
business is with this young man, sir, and not with you.
And yet you won't listen to either of them.
Wait, madam.
Where did you get that hat? Take it off.
You forget yourself, sir.
Perhaps you will remember, sir, that there are ladies present.
I disapprove of their presence and request them to return with me.
Well, couldn't we discuss this on a more fitting occasion?
Yes, that sounds good. Call back another
You
day.
are a very foolish old woman, and I must beg of you not to interfere. Ladies, come.
Sir, you cannot put such an affront to Mr. Wycomb's
I
friends.
don't know them. I don't know them.
To meet Mr. Wycomb's aunt.
Indeed.
There's no indeed about it, sir. To meet Mr. Wycomb's aunt.
In my mind, it matters little.
In my mind, it matters everything. Therefore, Donna Lucia Delvadores, Mr. This confounded name.
Spetty you.
Donna Lucia,
Mr. Spetty.
celebrated millionaire. Oh, how do you do?
How do you do? I'm Charlie's aunt from Brazil. Where the nuts come from.
I've been indiscreet. Oh, I am sorry. I am so sorry.
He's apologized. Take him to lunch.
Well, I was sufficiently insulted before, but if you apologize.
Oh, by all means, I am sorry. I am very, very sorry.
Yes, and you'll stay for lunch.
Oh, if you wish it, and I am forgiven.
Forgive it. Accept this as a peace offering.
My flower! Donna Lucia, allow me.
No, allow me.
Excuse me. Move. Get forward.
Well, we're sailing along. He makes a wonderful old lady. A bit singular to look at, perhaps. But then again, look at some of your old ladies. And he don't seem a bit worse to look at than 2 or 3 I could mention holding very high positions. Well, I suppose both the old gents have got their eye on her. Fancy Sir Francis is probably the favorite, but then again, old Spettigue fancies himself. Well, college gents will do anything.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, I beg pardon, sir. I was thinking of an old uncle of mine.
Well, do mind your own business and go see tea. Do you see tea?
Tea out here, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, now for Kitty. Where is she? Everything's going on all right, isn't it? Babs frightened the life out of me 2 or 3 times when he walked in and says he hadn't ate anything in months. But we're over the worst now. I still haven't had my chat with Kitty yet, so I gave her a hint to meet me here where we can talk quietly. Here she is. Oh, what are you doing here? I have a most particular meeting with Kitty, so hook it.
But so have I, Jack.
Oh, with Kitty?
No, with Amy.
Oh, well, then we both made appointments in the same exact place.
Well, they're your rooms.
Yes, but you're my guest. Come on, we'll toss for it. Got any money?
Hey, Penny, that's all.
Oh, give it here, sudden death. No. See you, heads, and Amy, tails, me, and... Oh, here she is.
But Jack, that's all the money I've got.
Oh, Mr. Chesney, there you are.
Yes, here I am, in fact. Waiting! I was beginning to fear you wouldn't come. Give me one moment. What are you doing here? Have you no tact?
But what about me and Amy?
Oh, Mr. Wycombe, there you
Oh,
are.
I was coming. I was waiting. I'm here.
Beastly awkward. Why, Charley, have you taken Miss Pettigrew to see the garden?
Yes, Jack, I have. 2 or 3 times. In fact, we came from there just now. I wish you'd leave us.
Lovely garden, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose it
I
is.
suppose. Why, Charley, she hasn't half seen enough of it. She hasn't half seen enough of the garden. Go show her the roses, and the primroses, and cabbages, and things.
Well, Jack,
Oh, and do show her those lovely lines of yours to our garden in summer.
Jack, don't tell her I write poetry. She'll think I'm an awful bore.
Oh, and Miss Pettigrew, don't forget, tea in half an hour.
Very well, Mr. Chesney.
But Jack, the others are in the garden, and it worries the life out of me to see Babs.
Well, don't. It's a large garden. Keep out of his way. Well, now, Kitty, my dear Kitty.
Don't you think it was rather selfish of us to send them away like that?
Oh, well, we tossed for it.
What?
I mean, you see, they'll be much happier together, alone. And it seems as if I couldn't get 5 minutes with you without some miserable interruption. Indeed, I was beginning to fear you think me quite rude, neglecting you as I have done.
Oh, no, not at all. I quite understand. I couldn't expect you to devote yourself entirely to me. And now I was thinking we ought to be going now.
Oh, now? Good gracious, no.
Why not?
Before I've had a word with you, why, Kitty, my dear Kitty. Why, have a seat, won't you? I have something of importance to say to you.
Indeed, Mr. Chesney.
You know, there's times when a fellow's got a lot to think about and has to think long.
I suppose so.
Yes, and he mustn't stop and think, or else he'll ruin his chance.
Yes.
So, Kitty, my dear Kitty. My dear
Pardon? Don't mind me. I only wanted to have a word with my boy here.
Then I'll just run into the garden and see the roses and primroses and cabbages and things.
Well, Dad, anything of importance?
Yes, Jack, it is.
Well, what is it?
Well, you know, I would do anything to see you get on in the world and to make your mark, as I'm certain you shall when given your chance.
Oh, you needn't tell me all this, Dad.
And having thought the matter well over, I've decided you shall continue in the career that I originally mapped out for you. And seeing a way out of the difficulty, I have decided to take your advice and marry a lady of wealth.
Ooh, well, I seem fallen victim to the fascinations of some young and lovely...
She's not lovely.
Oh.
And she's not over young. But one thing she does have in her favor is money, which is the real object in this instance.
Oh, well, as long as you're satisfied, Dad, go in and win.
And I have you to thank for the tip, my boy.
Thank me for the tip. Why, I don't remember. Who is she? What is her name?
You'll be delighted when I tell you.
Yes, well, who is it?
Can't you guess?
No, Dad, I can't. Who is it?
Donna Lucia Dalvadores.
What? The deuce! This is impossible.
Impossible? Well, you yourself suggested it, my boy. And for your sake, I'm going to do it.
But you can't.
Can't? Say, is there something against the lady's reputation?
No, but, you can't. You mustn't.
Can't. Mustn't. Jack, what a boy you are. You yourself suggested that I should go off to the hotel, change my things, put a flower in my buttonhole, and I believe the flower has done the trick.
But, she gave it away, Dad.
But she explained all of that.
This is horrible. Why, but Dad, circumstances have altered since then.
No, in what way?
You are too good for this. You shouldn't toss yourself away.
Say no more, my good boy. Your consideration for me settles it. It shall carry you forward years. You know, Jack, Had she been young and lovely, she wouldn't have given me a second look. But as it is, I flatter myself she's taken rather a fancy to me. And as for that old fool Spettigue, in spite of all of his market attentions, I don't believe he has a ghost of a chance with me.
Spettigue. Attentions, great heavens, what are we doing? Dad.
So wish me luck, my boy.
Oh, Dad, please. Take time and think it over.
Take time. Psh, that's not how an old soldier makes love, my boy. And now I'm off to your rooms to fix myself a rattling good spanking brandy and soda to bring me up to the mark.
What is the young monkey doing now?
Jack! Jack! I wish you'd speak to Babs. He's carrying on disgracefully. He's taken Amy away from me and gone off around the garden with her.
Oh, well, that's nothing to what's going on here. Hear that?
Yes, what is it?
No, just my dad getting himself a rattling good spanking brandy and soda.
Brandy and soda? What for?
You know, to, propose to Babs, that's all.
I knew something awful would come of this. We should be found out in disgrace. How could you let it go on?
Me? It wasn't my fault. It was the fault of your muddle-headed aunt not knowing her mind and leaving us in the lurch.
So what shall we do?
We shall put Babs up to the governor's game.
But Jack...
Shut up now. We can look around the entire garden. It's a large garden, but if we go in different ways, we shall find him.
But Jack, I wish you
Shut
witnessed...
up! We must keep our heads now. Now come on, Charley, come on.
Now I'm ready for anybody or anything. Will she not come? I didn't tell the boy earlier, more particularly when he raised objections. But she promised me she would be here in 10 minutes, and time's up. Time's up. It's that old fool Spettigue, and with my flower in his coat. Are you looking for someone?
No.
What is he hanging about here for? Are you in want of anything?
No, I was only thinking it was a very lovely afternoon. Perhaps you haven't seen the garden. You should give it a good look before you go.
Perhaps I will, before I go. What is he hanging about here for? Would you care for a cigarette?
Oh, no, I never smoke in the daytime. Why does he remain? She promised to meet me here in 10 minutes, and time's up. Time's up.
Well, as long as you're not smoking.
No, don't mind me. Don't mind me.
I was only thinking that perhaps it would be well if you were to join the ladies in the garden. They may think it rude, both of us being away.
Perhaps so. Perhaps so. She's in the garden.
Will she not come? Well, I guess I'll make myself another rattling good brandy.
Ah, Dad, you haven't seen Donna Lucia, have you?
No, Jack, I have not.
Oh, that's fortunate.
I was to meet her right here.
Meet her here?
I didn't tell you before, but we had an appointment, Jack, and she's due. In fact, she's overdue, so get out, my boy, get out!
They mustn't meet till I've seen him. Oh, Dad, come to think of it, I saw her only a moment ago.
Oh, where?
In the garden.
Hang it all, I just suspected you there!
Darn. Now I know Babs isn't there, but where is he? Well, have you found him?
No, haven't you?
No, and I've looked all over the place.
So have I, and the worst of it is he's got Amy with him. Oh, it's a shame.
I will kill the little monkey when I get hold of him. Yes, I will. Now, where is he?
Oh, Mr. Wickham, there you are. Afraid you've lost us.
Oh, yes, I'm afraid I did.
Where have you been with that girl, you fool?
No, nowhere.
Oh, nowhere. Don't you go anywhere. I have something to say to you.
Oh, have you?
Oh, Charley, why don't you take Miss Pettigrew to the chapel? Go take her there while I talk to Babs. It's a lovely chapel. Do be off.
Jack, I'll punch his head if he does it again.
Babs! What the deuce do you mean by this fool of a
What game?
You promised to help us.
Oh, well, I'm doing my best.
Doing your best. Your job was to look after those two old chaps, but here you are. But I've no wish to argue.
No, I wouldn't complain if I were you.
I want to put you on your guard.
On my guard. Oh, thank you.
You see, my dad is going to propose to you.
Oh. Is he? Well, that's all right, but I'm not going to marry him for you or anybody else. I'll be hung first.
Of course not, you idiot. You just have to remain calm and refuse him.
Calm and refuse him. But a proposal puts anyone in a twist, you know that.
Well, you just have to remember that you're a real old lady.
How am I supposed to remember that with my trousers on?
Never mind your trousers. Now the dad's here, I'll be off.
Oh, wait, but what am I to say? Well, I've never been proposed to before.
Why, you see, just remain calm. Say he's taking you by surprise. But mind you, refuse him.
Yes. I'll refuse him.
Really, it's too bad. She made the proposition herself. It was a definite proposition of her own. Well, women are proverbially unpunctual. Dear Don Lucia, here you are. Well, I was beginning to be afraid and popped off to the garden to see if you... Well, it's so good of you to come. Won't you sit down? By Jove, I've got her at last. Now for the plunge. I'll begin with a compliment. Wonder what her real age is. Well, no woman's too old for a compliment, so here goes. Don Lucia, you'll pardon the rude metaphor of an old campaigner, but to meet you today, as I have for the first time, is to me like a witty traveler coming across a brilliant little floweret by the wayside.
Do you mean me?
Yes, Don Lucia, yes! By Jove, that was a good start.
What am I to say to that, I wonder? That's a very kind thing for you to say.
Egad, she's anywhere between 50 and 100. Well, I've brought myself to it. Now I'll come to the point. Donna Lucia, Do you know what a man longs for when he's lonely and wretched and desolate and bereft?
A drink?
What a woman doesn't help me one bit. No, Donna Lucia, no. This is what he longs for. He longs to plant in his very heart that brilliant little floweret.
Oh, yes, by the wayside. That one, was it?
Yes, Donna Lucia, and I've come all the way from India to find it.
You must be tired. Oh, take a chair.
It is a very long way.
Oh, yes, quite a long walk.
But I have found it.
Oh, then why don't you wear it in your buttonhole?
Will you let me, dear Donna Lucia? Or will you give it away to someone else, as you did before?
Oh, yes, I remember. I was a naughty girl this morning.
Donna Lucia, the floweret of which I speak must sit at the head of my table, must walk by my side and dwell in my heart forever. And so I'll waste no more words. I'll come to it with a soldier's bluntness. Will you be my wife? Will you be my little floweret?
Well, you see, you've taken me so much by surprise.
Then I may hope.
No! Don't hope. I wouldn't hope if I were you.
Donna Lucia, am I to understand?
The fact is that I am another's.
Another's?
Yes, I am a woman with a history.
And no words of mine can alter your decision.
No, I'm afraid not. But I'll tell you what I'll do if you like.
Yes, yes.
I'll be like a sister to you.
A sister? Only a sister?
Only a sister. Nothing more.
Well, then I suppose there's no point in prolonging this interview, and so you will accept my regrets and apologies for ever having broached the subject.
Oh, yes, of course. Any time you're passing.
Refused. What a relief. Although I am sorry for the boy's sake.
Well, here's a deuce of a mess. You fool! What did you want to make a fool of my dad like that for?
Oh, I didn't make a fool of the fool, you fool. Did you hear what he called me?
Yes, floweret.
Yes, by the wayside. That's a nice thing to say, is it?
Why didn't you cut him off short and refuse him at once?
Well, I couldn't refuse him until he proposed. No woman could. I'd find myself in the divorce court before I knew where I was.
Look out, here comes Spetty.
Oh, Mr. Jet, oh, excuse me, sir.
What the deuce did he bolt off like that for? Anyhow, they won't ruin my future happiness. I must find Kitty. Why couldn't Charley's aunt have behaved like a lady and turned up as she promised, instead of giving us all this trouble? I hate the sight of her before I've even seen her.
Knock again.
The porter said they might all be in the garden. Oh, I could run about these ancient places for days. Isn't it beautiful?
Dream away, Ella. I shall remain until someone comes.
Oh, to live among these leafy shades, ancient spires and sculptured nooks, like silent music, a scholar's fairyland.
Yes, but to one poor sublunary being, not quite as young as she used to be, a little fatiguing.
How wonderful it must be by moonlight, where the shadows have no sudden peers and are only folds in the mantle of sleep.
You fanciful little woman, what has all of this talk of angels and so forth in your mind today?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I think I can trace back all the little byways and sly ways of thought that generally lead in one direction.
No, it's all so sweet here.
And so it was there, by moonlight, off the bridge of a certain yacht. The blue sky, the rippling sea, the brilliant stars. You see how I remember your words. And a certain someone who told you, by the chime of the ship's bell, that you looked like the angel of the watch. He was a flattering-tongued person, that someone. What was his name again?
I've told you so often.
Lord Fancourt Beverley. But I don't want your mind on these things, my dear. Why, I'd almost forgotten to tell you. I invested your poor father's money for you, and thanks to his forethought for his little girl, he's rendered you independent for life, and what is worse, independent of me.
Independent.
Oh, yes, but you won't be, Ella.
No.
For I've come to love that little orphan that I met in such grief in a strange land so much that I'm not independent of her. So, let's make a bargain. Take that awful evidence of my dependence and put it aside and let it grow and be my little girl and call me Auntie, won't you?
Yes, Auntie, yes.
Oh. But how did your poor father come to have such a large sum of money of him by that? I thought he'd lost it all.
Papa wanted at cards.
Wanted at cards? When?
During his illness.
From whom?
From Lord Fancourt Beverley.
Oh, is Lord Beverley a gambler too?
No, he's not.
Oh, I see.
But if ever we meet, may I give it back?
Oh, I don't think he'd take it.
Why not?
It seems to me he took far too much trouble to lose it. But I'm not going to speak for him. I don't ever want you to leave me. Oh, my dear, you've set me thinking now.
Have I? What about?
Oh, about someone.
Oh, tell me.
Well, it was long ago. Before I went abroad to Brazil, I was very young, and he was very shy. He never called me the angel of the watch. But he did get as far as a stammering compliment and a blush, and then he was ordered off with his regiment.
Without ever?
Without ever.
Oh, Auntie.
It was at a dance the evening before he went away.
And you've never loved anyone since?
I was a sentimental young lady in those days.
What was his name, Auntie?
Frank Chesney. How strange. Well, my dear. Oh, I'm afraid we're intruding.
Oh, no, not at all. The college grounds are open to everyone. I myself am, so to speak, at home here, merely because these are my son's rooms.
Mr.
Chesney.
And are you, or rather were you, Lieutenant Frank Chesney?
I was.
But you don't remember me.
Well, I must confess with some regret that I have no recollection whatsoever.
It must be more than 20 years since.
20 years?
He doesn't remember.
20 years is a long time, Auntie.
20 years? Where was the regiment then, I wonder?
Mrs. Beverly Smythe? Everyone's card but my own, of course. Then you've forgotten the day you first embarked for India?
No.
But you've forgotten the evening before?
Not entirely, no.
Then...
Lucy! Good gracious. And to think at that very dance Well, you wouldn't remember that.
No?
Well, no, because you never knew. But I almost made you an avowal that... Well, you say we haven't seen each other in 20 years.
I'm afraid so.
Oh, I remember the dance perfectly. You were in white, all tied up with blue.
Tied with blue like a chocolate box.
You must meet my son. He's a splendid fellow. Oh, these are his rooms, you know. Of course, he's lent them out to a friend of his named Wycombe.
Wycombe?
Yes, charming young lad. He's entertaining two young ladies, and his aunt.
His aunt?
Yes, a woman from Brazil.
From Brazil?
Donna Lucia Dalvadores. I shall have to introduce you.
What does he mean?
Wait a moment, my dear. Do I understand you to say that Donna Lucia Dalvadores is here? Actually, here?
Yes, she was in the garden. She was 5 minutes ago. Do you know her?
I've heard of her. Should I stay or go to town?
May I trouble you?
Certainly.
Miss Beverly Smythe? Shh. Well, I shall go and find Donna Lucia and the boys. Or, if you would prefer to accompany me in the garden, we can look for them.
Oh, I'd be delighted. I'm most interested to see them. My niece, Miss Delahaye.
Charmed?
Colonel...
Sir Francis Chesney, at your service.
Come, Ella.
Jack, my boy, if that had been Donna Lucia, things might have been very different. No! No, 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 no! No! Oh!
What's his lordship up to now? Looks as if they're having a game of some sort. Why, I think it's awfully dangerous running around here like that, and I'm not sure I didn't catch sight of his lordship's trousers.
Now, here we are at last. No one here, and I can speak to you. So, Kitty, my dear Kitty.
But Jack, look.
What are you doing, Rapsy?
Setting for tea, sir.
Get out!
But, sir, you gave orders.
Well, set it back for half an hour. Can't you see? I'm busy. I am getting engaged.
Oh, really, sir? I congratulate you, sir.
Busy confounds you. Get out and do not come back. Do be off. Now, Kitty, my dear Kitty.
Yes, Jack, you said that before.
Oh, now listen, don't interrupt me. I go straight at most things, and I'm not going to hesitate over this.
Is it that you attach so much importance to it, or that you don't care what you do?
Well, both mixed, really. So, Kitty, my dear Kitty.
Yes, Jack.
Oh, will you listen? In a couple of hours, you'll be hundreds of miles away, and we may never see each other for years. Unless.
Unless.
Oh, will you listen?
I can't help myself.
You know how my father intended me for Parliament and all of that?
Yes.
Well, now he tells me that for the next few years, I shall give up all that and earn my own living.
Well, that would do you no harm, Jack.
Yes, that's how I see it. I've worked well up here, and I've worked hard, and work shows wherever you may be. So I intend to turn out all right one way or another. I've broken the ice at last.
The dear fellow.
Oh, I hope nobody comes in now.
Well, I'm sure I wish you every success.
Yes, I shall be all right over time, but the question is, will you wait?
Wait?
That's not what I mean.
Oh, you didn't mean it.
No, what I really mean is, before I say anything further, what I want you to understand is what I've been trying to tell you.
Oh, yes, what was that?
To lay everything out in front of you, my position in life,
The city.
yes, thank you, my home.
Suburban.
Yes, my transit.
Bus or rail.
Thank you, exactly. My personal income.
Small.
My extra income.
Precarious.
Which will result in my fears being nil and my hopes tremendous. Now you know all, and that's how I stand.
The dear fellow.
I'll kill anyone who comes in now.
Well, I hope those happy conditions will be realized to your heart's content.
Oh, they won't be realized without you.
Without me.
Oh, now you're vexed with me. You hate the city, you loathe the buses, you despise the suburbs.
Well, why would you say that, Jack?
Oh, Kitty?
As if I hadn't the heart to do thousands of girls better than I have done.
Kitty?
As if I couldn't guess all the happy fun that is to be got out of cooking and mending and ministering to the wants and happiness of the man who strive and work for the women he
Well, then,
loves.
Kitty?
Try me, Jack, for I love you dearly.
You do, Kitty, you do.
As much as you love me.
Oh, Kitty.
My dear Kitty.
Oh, my dear Kitty, you are a brick. I had. All right, then. I've done it! In spite of the lot of them, I've done it.
Oh, but what about my guardian, Mr. Spedigue?
Oh, I shall see him at once.
No, that won't do.
Won't do.
I must have a written consent.
A written consent in writing, why?
So that he can't retract. See, you don't know him as well as I do. Now, there's only one person who can get the written consent for us, so be a good boy and send her to me at once.
What, Amy?
Oh, no, Charlie's aunt, Donna Lucia.
Donna Lucia, but Kitty...
Now, no questions asked. There's a good boy, and send her to me at once while I find Amy.
I must put a stop to this.
I've done it, Jack. By George, I've done it.
You've done what?
I let the cat out of the bag and told her everything.
Told her everything? What did you do that for? What did you tell her?
That I love her.
Oh, is that all?
Yes, but Jack, she's gone off to find Mr. Spedigue and ask for her uncle's consent. Now we shall be in the dickens of a mess yet.
Yes, we shall, but keep cool, man, keep cool. We're all right up to now. We are all right up to now. No! Hide me, Spedigue!
He'll drag us into awful disgrace.
And a damn good job, too. You have no idea the things he keeps saying to me.
He who?
Why, Mr. Spedigue.
Well, what does he say?
Yes, what does he say?
No, Charlie's too young.
Oh, that is nothing.
Yes, but it's awfully embarrassing. And you see how well I'm getting on with the girls.
Yes. Too well.
Jack, I can live this lie no longer.
But you must. Some lies are worth living.
Whichever for.
To say confessing them, you duffer.
I wish to goodness you'd bring it all to an end.
Me too. I want to drink.
Well, we'd be all right if only the donkey would behave like a lady.
I know of that, but he can't. He doesn't know how.
Yes, the selfish beast is ruining and spoiling everything.
I wish we'd ask Freddie Peel now.
Oh, at any rate, Freddie Peel would have stood by us like a man.
We were fools to trust
The
him.
selfish little beast.
And to think of all the misery he's put us to.
Oh, I feel so infernally indignant.
Look! Well, look at him now!
Fool!
Come back on. Come back here!
Duffer. Whoa!
Mr. Chesley, have you seen Donna Lucia?
Why, yes, I have in the garden.
Listen, chaps, I'm tired. Let Charlie have a go.
Come here. Put on the rags. Come on, Charlie, we have to get this quick.
All right, Babs.
Feet in. Get your hands out of your pockets. You would be all right if you only paid more attention to Spedigue instead of this fool of a game.
What fool of a game? I'm not going to marry Spedigue. I could never be happy with a man like that.
You know, Babs, if it was your little girl, we'd do anything for you.
You know, Charlie, am I all right in the back?
Haha, but instead, you're running after all girls. Confound you. Now, where is the antimacassar? Oh, never mind that. Oh, here are the girls.
Donna Lucia, we've been looking for you everywhere.
Oh, have you?
We're in a difficulty.
A difficulty?
And we want you to be an angel.
Oh.
Now, Jack, do go away.
Yes, Charlie, do go away.
Yes, boys, go away. They want me to be an angel.
So you know, Amy's uncle, Mr. Spedigue, is my guardian. And under my father's will, it's nearly all of my money if I get married without his consent.
And you know, Jack and Kitty are in love with each other. Jack's lost all his money or something.
For years and years.
And Kitty wants to...
Oh, now wait a moment, Amy dear.
Yes, wait a moment, Amy dear. It's her turn now.
Now it's your turn.
Yes, now it's your turn now.
You know, Charlie and Amy are in love with each other. Oh, but you don't object, do you?
Oh, of course not.
You dear. Now, Jack, do go away.
Yes, Charlie, do go away.
Yes, boys, go away. Us three girls are trying to have a conversation.
I must must end this. I must do something.
Well, go and look after tea.
Now first, you know where we left off, don't you?
Oh, yes, you're all in love and want to get married.
Well, yes.
And we want Uncle's consent.
And yours, and we want you to be an angel and do it.
An angel and do it. Do what?
Why, get Mr. Spettigue's consent.
To both of us.
For both of you.
See, first you'll give your consent to Charlie and Amy, won't
Oh,
you?
yes, of course.
You are so kind, but I knew it from the first.
Oh, when you want me to be a bridesmaid. No, some other time then.
Well, see, now you'll give your consent to us, but mine being a legal affair, you understand, don't you?
Oh, but listen, girls, I have no influence over him.
Oh, but you're so clever and so kind.
And so rich.
Oh, yes, and so rich. I remember I gave away half a crown only this morning.
Well, at any rate, you must try.
Oh, Donna Lucia, do say you'll try.
Oh, I'll try.
We are going away.
Going away? Oh, don't leave me, my girls.
We're going to Scotland.
Oh, yes, Scotland. A lovely country, where the whiskey comes from.
You are our only hope.
Oh, Donna Lucia, have you ever been in love?
Oh, yes, dozens of times. I mean, once in love, always in love.
Then you know what it means to us, don't you?
Yes.
And you'll get his consent for us, won't you?
Yes, I'll get his consent.
You can't say no now.
No, not now.
Then we'll find Mr. Spettigue and send him to you at once.
Here's a deuce of a mess. Right. Quick, get me a good spanking brandy. No, here comes Spettigue.
Ah, there you are, Donna Lucia. I have been looking for you all afternoon. I have so much to say to you.
Mr. Spettigue? Mr. Spettigue? Won't you introduce
What
me?
a cool interruption. Certainly, Donna Lucia, Miss Butterscotch Smith, Donna Lucia d'Alvadores.
How do you do?
How do you do?
I'm Charley's on from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
Do you know, I'm most interested in meeting you. I knew your late husband, intimately.
What devil's the matter, Babs?
She knew my late husband intimately.
Well, how are you getting on? Everything's all right, isn't it?
No, she knew my late husband intimately.
Good news. Oh, look out, here's tea.
Well, what of it?
Donna Lucia, will you pour out the tea?
Oh, what a cruel interruption. We were getting on so nicely.
Do we all take tea?
Yes.
You haven't been in England long, have you?
Change the subject.
Change the subject.
No, do you take sugar and cream?
No, do you take sugar and cream?
Ask her if she takes sugar
Ask
and cream.
her if she takes sugar and cream.
I think I should like a little cream and sugar, Donna Lucia. Oh, I must keep her in the humor. I must see her alone. I haven't. They must come to dinner. After dinner, that is the time for my purpose. Pardon me, but I have a little proposition to make.
Ooh, hear, hear.
And I can't take no. Now I want you, all of you, to come and stay and dine at my house.
Oh, what grand idea.
You will return with me in the carriage now, Donna Lucia?
No, I'm afraid it's impossible.
Oh, I will take no denial. I want you, all of you, to come.
I have my niece with me, Miss Delahaye.
Oh, bring her, delighted, Miss Stella.
Oh, no, I can't. My things, my things.
Of course it must... Oh.
Well, there they go. Dinner's pretty well over with now, and they'll be in here pretty soon. Fancy old Spettigue asking me to butler for him. I suppose he's too mean to have a butler of his own. Well, I think things are simply marvelous the way his lordship has acted as a lady like that. Hello, what's that? Anyhow, worst comes to worst, I have his lordship's clothes with me.
Present! Get me a fly, quick, I'm going home.
You'd be going all right if you only paid more attention, old Spanicky. What made you bolt from the table like that?
It's awfully dangerous and unkind of you, you know.
Yes, instead of behaving as Charlie's aunt, as a disgraceful lady, here you are behaving as a disgraceful old.
Oh, go on. Finish it. Don't spare me.
You can't say I'm drunk anywho, and if I am, it's only for the wish of it.
Perhaps this game won't do.
Think of the girls and all the solemn promises you gave to them for their sakes.
Oh, yes, but she wasn't here before.
She who?
Oh, the little girl.
What little girl?
Miss Delahaye.
What, the girl with Mrs. What's her name, Smythe?
Yes, Miss Butterscotch Smythe's niece.
Well, what of her?
She's the girl from the Monte Carlo. Delahaye's daughter.
You want to say something to her?
Oh, yes. I want to tell her what you've been telling your girls. Why, I'm just as much in love as you are.
Shh, Jack, they'll hear everything.
Was there ever such an idiot?
No, there never was. Look at me. I'm a disgrace to my sex.
Never mind that. We'll just take the bull by the horns and be done with him.
Oh, you can take the bull by the tail for all I care. And tell your confounded girls to stop kissing me in front of her. I won't have it.
Don't shout, you idiot! We'll make an excuse. Say she's ill and be done with him.
Oh, yes, and Charlie, you can make an excuse to Miss Verdon for me, can't you?
What have you got to say to Miss Verdon? Come out with it!
Well, I promised to get Spedigue's consent in writing, didn't I, you idiot? You're as helpless as a bunch of babies.
Oh,
This way.
set him down quick. They're coming.
How is your aunt, Mr. Wycombe? We were afraid she might be ill.
Yes, how is she?
Why, Auntie is a little upset by, the heat of the dining room, that's all.
I found it rather cold.
Oh, why, yes, he means cold. Why, you see, Donna Lucia has lived in such a warm climate.
Oh, she should try some of my auntie's
Oh, no, that's all right. Thank you. She's often like this, isn't she, Charlie?
I hope Donna Lucia is all right.
Yes, is she?
Oh, yes. Mr. Chesney says she's all right.
Well, then go and tell Mr. Spedigue. He's most anxious, and leave her with us.
Yes, we'll look after her now.
I say, fellows, don't leave me like this. Well, here's a deuce of a mess. I wonder what they'll talk about. I hope they're careful before.
I wonder who she really is, Auntie.
Oh, some old thing they got after receiving my telegram.
Say something to her. I wish to hear her speak.
I would, my dear, but look at her. If I thought they intended that to be me, I'd never forgive them.
Present. What's the story? Oh, that
Oh, the gentlemen seem to be enjoying themselves.
Yes, they do indeed.
Yes, don't they?
That reminds me of a very funny story.
one. That's just what I expected.
Well, Donna Lucia, perhaps you would rather tell Don Pedro's story yourself?
Oh, I must change the subject. Won't one of you young ladies play something, please?
Oh, she couldn't have heard you, Auntie.
Do tell us, Miss Beverly Smythe.
Oh, yes, anything about Don Pedro would be so interesting. Do tell.
Oh, will Donna Lucia permit me?
Tom Pedro.
Your late husband, you know, Don Pedro de Alvadores?
Oh, yes, I know his name. But I don't remember his stories. I don't hold up with such frivolity.
No, tease no, Auntie. Tell the story yourself.
Well, Don Pedro, who was the kindest soul in all the world, you will permit me.
Oh, you won't
mind Miss Beverly Smythe telling the story.
And you'll listen, won't you?
Well, if I must, I must. Well, as I said before, Don Pedro, who was the kindest soul in all the world, once found one of his cellarmen tipsy.
Oh, tut-tut!
And Don Pedro, whom the man did not recognize.
Why was Don Pedro tipsy?
Oh no, the man
was tipsy.
Don Pedro was, of course, most abstemious. That's what makes the point of the story.
Does it?
Yes. So Don Pedro, whom the man did not recognize, said, "What would Don Pedro say if he saw you like this?"
Tipsy! Like fish!
Yes.
Yes.
What did the man say?
Well, the man said, and that's where it's so funny, he said, "It's all right, Don Pedro is often like this."
Tipsy?
Yes.
And what was the man's name?
Really, I don't know the man's name. But don't you remember? It was one of Don Pedro's favorite stories.
Oh, yes, I shrieked when I first heard it.
You know, that reminds me of...
Won't one of you young ladies play something, please?
Oh, I'm so out of practice. You sing something, Amy.
No, I can't. I know nothing.
We know.
Nothing new.
Donna Lucia, won't you sing something for us?
Oh, no.
One of those charming little Brazilian songs Don Pedro was so fond of.
Oh, no, I haven't sung since I had the measles. Over 40 years ago.
Unreliable. I was the merest infant.
Oh, but I play a little.
Have you quite recovered from the shock my niece gave you earlier?
Oh, yes, I suffer so much from giddiness. Were you ever giddy?
No.
Oh, what should I play? A little Beethoven or Bluebells of Scotland?
Come along, my dear friends, come along.
Oh, here they are. Now, don't forget the letter. Let's get them all out into the garden and leave her alone with Mr. Speddy.
Oh, charming, charming. Bring in the cigars, Brassens, unless the ladies, Donna Lucia, Miss Beverly Smythe, subject.
No, I like it. It kills the insects and things.
Look at him, Jack.
What is he doing?
Staring at her like he did all through dinner.
Oh, the fool!
I must make an opportunity to see her alone. It's a sweet evening. Perhaps some of you may care to enjoy a cigar in the garden.
No, thank you, sir.
Well, it's a sweet evening.
You've been enjoying yourselves capitally, Miss Verdun.
Yes,
We heard music.
Donna Lucia has been playing for
Oh, how charming of you, Donna Lucia. What would we have done without your dear Aunt Charley?
Don't groan like that, you idiot! Are you fond of music, Mr. Spetty?
Oh, I hope to be.
Why are you going to take lessons?
What is he looking at me like that for? Like a boiled owl? Dad, I'm glad you know about Miss Verdun. She's a splendid girl, isn't she?
Yes, Jack, I like her quite a great deal.
Yes, you've taken a load off my mind. I thought I was quite without means.
Oh, not entirely, my boy. And you've given the matter a lot of thought.
Oh, yes, night and day, ever since I first saw her.
It's a serious step, my boy. A serious step.
Now, don't forget the letter in writing.
In writing.
Let's get them all out into the garden. You take Charlie.
Why won't you listen to reason?
Oh, I'll listen to reason, but where is that letter?
I remember. I've not written it yet.
Not yet.
Well, we must find an opportunity to talk it over alone.
Oh, yes, that'll be nice.
Why are you so depressing, Charlie? We ought to be very happy today.
Oh, hi, Amy. These great joys bring a sort of, reaction. I shall feel better tomorrow.
Come into the garden.
Oh, now I took a dad blank out and he's delighted. But the real question is, will you regret hurting yourself from society and the row
And the stifling hollowness of my own Mondays and everybody else's rest of the week and have something real to think about. Jack, the vistas heavenly do come out into the garden.
Shall we join them?
Oh, yes. It will be a mercy to leave those two people alone.
Indeed. Why?
A little matchmaking mischief.
On Mr. Spettinger's account?
No, on Donna Lucille.
They've gone. Lucia, they've gone. Ah, there you are, monsieur. How I have longed for this moment. I have so much to say
No, don't
to you.
speak to me. I'm angry at you.
Monsieur, you wound me. Don't say that.
Oh, after the promise you made me to treat me like this.
Promise.
Oh, the consent you promised me in writing.
Lucia, how can you? We have so much to say that more nearly concerns ourselves.
How dare you? You know nothing of me.
Monsieur, will you
I'm
listen?
no ordinary woman.
Listen to me. Hear me, Lucia.
I'll hear you when you get me that letter.
Lucia, do I deserve this?
She deserves 6 months.
Lucia, you are a puzzle, an enigma.
How dare you?
Lucia, what decides me? I go to my room, a brief note, and then say you will be mine.
I'll say ever what you like, as long as you don't be too long.
Darling.
What devil we women are. I haven't had a drink or a smoke all evening. Well, here's a fight. Well, I'm damned if I don't chance. Beautiful.
She's smoking. Auntie, did you find it chilly?
Oh, yes, my dear. I thought I might get a wrap or something.
I'll go upstairs and get you one. I know where your things are.
Thank you. Are you alone?
Oh, yes, I'm alone and so sad.
My dear, what a dreadful smell of smoke.
Oh, yes, I smell it myself. I'll go see who's doing it.
Oh, don't go. I wanted to talk with you about your husband.
Oh, yes, that'll be nice.
You know, when I met Don Pedro, he said he had no wife.
Oh, yes, he's a cruel, cruel man.
The Don Pedro I knew was gentle, noble, and kind.
Oh, well, you must be thinking of his father. A white mustache chap.
The effrontery. You know, Donna Lucia, I'm surprised that you don't indulge in the habit of smoking. So many Brazilian ladies do, you know.
Well, to be honest with you, that's just what I was doing when you came in.
Oh, pray don't let me stop you.
Would you like one?
Oh, no. You see, not being a Brazilian lady, it might be thought strange.
Oh, and may I get you a drink of any kind?
Oh, no, thank you. Pardon my asking, Donna Lucia, but do you have any children?
Only a few, none to speak of.
Here's your wrap, Auntie.
Oh, thank you, my dear. I think I'll go to the garden. Sir Francis has something to say to me, but since it's cold outside, you'd better stay in.
Auntie says we're not supposed to mention our knowing she's not really Auntie. I suppose only to oblige them. Oh, please don't go.
Oh, I was going into the garden.
Yes, it's turned quite chilly. Auntie sent me in because of it.
Well, may I get you a wrap of any kind?
No, thank you. Auntie thinks I'm best here. I've been ill, you know.
No, oh, but I don't.
Oh, I'm all right now, of course, if I take care.
Yes, you must take great care.
I suppose Auntie's acting more particular than usual this evening. For you know, her and Sir Francis are sweethearts.
Were they?
Yes, but he went away without ever telling her he was ever and ever so fond of her. Auntie says he was shy, and he went away without knowing that she was ever and ever so fond of him. But the noblest man I ever knew was shy and kind. And he got to know how Papa had become so ill. He lost a large sum of money to him at cards, Auntie says on purpose. I often wondered why they had played cards and Papa so ill, but when I asked the doctor if it wasn't doing any harm, he said not the game that was being played. But if ever we meet, I wish to give it back.
But you must never do that.
But it was so much. Enough, Auntie says, to make me independent for life.
Do you really think he'd take it back if he knew that?
But I should feel it is my duty.
Oh, it's too late now.
But I never got to tell him how much I loved him. For his kindness to my poor father, of course. I'm sorry, I hope you don't mind me telling all this. I don't know why, but I like talking to you. I like you. And I so long to see him again.
Lucia! Oh, what?
Is that the letter?
Yes, this is the letter. But first, make my happiness complete. Save in this blissful moment we are engaged.
We are engaged.
Yes.
Mr. Spettigue,
Yes, call me Stephen.
Is this the letter, Stephen?
Yes, that is the letter. And we are betrothed.
we are betrothed.
Miss Beverly Smythe. Sir Francis, congratulate me. Congratulate me. But where are the dear children? This must be a day of happiness and celebration for us all. For us all. Bully!
What on earth is he on about? What's all the excitement?
Can't you guess?
No.
Didn't I tell you what would happen if we left them alone?
Eh?
Don't you understand? She's accepted him.
What?
Yes. Donna Lucia Dalvedor.
You don't mean that.
I imagine he will discover his mistake before long.
By George, what a fool I've been.
Why?
Well, that rascal of a son of mine made some stupid sort of a suggestion that I should...
Offer your hand and heart to Donna Lucia Dalvedores from Brazil.
Where the nuts come from? When I think of what a fool I've been, might have been, should have been.
You don't envy him?
Envy him?
Well, think of her millions.
Oh, but Lucy, when I saw your face...
You didn't recognize it.
No, but when I did... But we discussed that in the garden. Lucy, will you be content to live for a while in a small cottage with your old sweetheart?
And you? You take me, a penniless widow?
Nothing would make me happier.
Frank.
Lucy, what on earth are you smiling at?
I was just thinking
Of what?
of Donna Lucia Dalvedore.
She's a quaint little creature, I will allow.
Auntie, did you find it a bit chilly?
I didn't notice, my dear.
Auntie, how pretty you look tonight. Yes. Sir Francis?
Come along, my dear children. Come along. I have something to tell you. Amy, sit there. Kitty, there. I have something to tell you, something you will all be very pleased to hear. Where is Donna Lucia?
I'm afraid Donna Lucia has gone to her room, sir.
Perhaps it is just as well. Now, if you may pardon me, I have a little secret to tell you.
Secret? Oh, really?
If I may have your attention for a few moments. Situated as I am, a lonely widower, a mateless uncle, surrounded with my grave responsibilities, my niece and my ward, good fairy has, I may say, tripped in among us, bringing with her unexpected light and joy.
Good gracious, Jack, what is he going to say?
How do I know till he said it?
Under her influence, I have consented to the engagement of my niece to a man whose honor and probity I have the fullest confidence, Mr. Charles Wycombe. Furthermore, charmed by irresistible spells, I have consented to the union of John to my ward. John, only son of my friend, Sir Francis Chesney. Sir Francis. But what will you say to a third engagement?
A third?
Our good fairy let me continue without further metaphor. One whose name is honored in the southwestern hemisphere as that of Rothschild is in Europe, has consented to become Mrs. Stephen Spettigue. I allude, of course, to our dear friend, Donna Lucia Dalvadores. What is that?
The trace.
Be more careful, Crossett. Be more careful. Nothing could please me more.
Mr. Spettigue, I can listen to this ghastly
Mr.
fairy no
Wycombe,
longer.
sir, what do you mean?
My good sir, I do not care what the result may be.
Mr.
I
Wycombe,
can
sir,
listen.
I assume in espousing my
I
rights-
can't. I won't espouse her. Under these false and lying pretenses, that woman.
Do you allude in such a manner to
I say that woman.
Mr. Wycombe, I assure you should speak with more respect of your aunt.
She is not my aunt.
Not your aunt? What do you mean?
I love Amy far too dearly.
Oh, never mind that, sir. Explain your words.
Mr. Spettigue, will you allow me to say that
I'm
plain
addressing
response?
this person, sir. Explain your words.
I must tell his lordship.
At the last moment this morning, my aunt, on whose account we had invited Miss Verdon and Miss Spettigue, we had invited the girls. The ladies arrived and we...
And I, sir, prevailed to find another person to...
Personate her. I've been treacherously, infamously deceived.
Well, that was not our intention,
Don't
sir.
lie to me,
I
sir.
beg your pardon, sir. You forgot you were not
A
expected.
front like that with a wig!
Well, you can't blame her for that.
May I come in?
Turn that woman out of my house.
I said, may I come in?
Turn that woman out of my... Who are you, sir?
Well, I'm Charlie's aunt from Brazil.
Where the nuts come from? What babbler, you duffer!
Vancourt Babylon.
What does this mean?
Oh, well, it means that we are all very sorry and owe you an apology. Especially me. For if I didn't offer up the temptation, none of this ever would have happened.
And if Mrs. Spettigue will allow us to add our apologies...
And say we have no words to express our contrition.
It's infamous. Infamous. Where is the document obtained from me under these fraudulent
Oh,
pretenses?
the letter.
Give
I
it
have
to
the
me,
letter.
Miss Verdon, sir, I demand it.
Allow me.
I shall dispute it. Under her father's will, I shall dispute it.
This letter is addressed to and has been delivered to Donna Lucia Dalvadores.
But he is not Donna Lucia de Alvadores.
No, but I am.
You say?
My aunt!
Pardon me if I retire. As for you, sir, I shall request from the authorities your college in the morning.
I say, Charlie, can he have a breach of promise?
Charlie, Mr. Wycombe, I mean, how dare you? I'll never forgive you. I'll never forgive any of you for treating Uncle Stephen like
My
that.
dear, wait. Be patient with us. Your uncle shall have the most profound reparations that my influence can make. And as for myself, I only participated in the deception when I found another lady established in my place.
No wonder she knew all about my late husband.
Well, I'm as sorry as anyone, but I trust Jack with my life.
Indeed? Then he shall have to wait until I'm his mother.
Mother.
Yes. Donna Lucia, having deceived me as much as anybody, has, however, given me the honor to recollect an old affection. And in so doing has promised to assume that very authority, Jack. So look out, Jack.
Lord Vancourt Beverley, you have obtained one confidence that I cannot forgive.
Oh, and I reproach myself beyond belief. But I wouldn't part with the memory to save my life. For if Miss Delahaye will allow me to atone for it with a lifelong devotion.
Auntie.
Now where's my son?
Oh, here, Mama.
I shall have a very serious talk with you before I give you this. Charlie, if you ever deceive that sweet young lady again, I shall never forgive you. And as for you, sir...
Oh, no. You can have the clothes if you like. I'm done with them. and I resign to Sir Francis Chesney all claims to Charley's aunt.
If you take one step, then you will be a little closer to your dream than if you stay just where